Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel, Making Sense of Credit. I'm Tony Hill. Thanks for being here today. Before I begin, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. Smash the like button if you like the content. Hit the bell for upcoming content. Feel free to make a comment if you choose. And then most of all, share it with your friends and family. Real quick, this is going to be a short video. I wanted to come to you guys today about kind of going on again about Credit Karma, Vantage 3.0 score versus Fico scores. Well, first of all, FICO is king. I know it's a lot of confusion out there about credit scores, and my thing is that, not saying that you have to delete your Credit Karma account, but look, if you're confused, that might be an option for you. The thing about Credit Karma and what you find with the scores is that they use a different algorithm, not unlike FICO. And people always say, once again, people always say the banks use 90% of FICO scores. Well, let me tell you, in my research, the banks use just about 100% of FICO scores. The only reason that the banks use the Vantage scores is that it's free, right? They don't have to pay for it like FICO. FICO charges money, as you guys know, or if you don't know, they do. I was disappointed to find out that American Express uses Vantage 3.0. But once again, which most are, and if you don't know, pretty much all their loans are approved on Experian, Experian report, which uses FICO scores. Okay, and but they're monitoring. So disregard their monitoring, because some of you guys might see that it may be lower than on your, if you do have another monitoring service like Experian.com, or if you go have my FICO scores. Your scores are different on your American Express monitoring, because they use Vantage 3.0. And remember, Experian is part owner of Vantage 3.0, so they make money, when they recommend something to you. But needless to say, because you already have your American Express card, they're not really making money off that, but they're saving money, right? So, but disregard those scores. Don't get disappointed if your scores. And typically, where I see the big differences is, number one, is when you have when your credit gets to that fair point to poor level. Your scores can be anywhere from 50, 60 points less than Vantage 3.0 scores. Discover uses FICO scores, and then there's FICO 8. You could always, guys, if you want to figure out what your credit card company is using, and you go to the scores, look in the fine print where it says FICO Score 8. Look, if you don't know, FICO Score 8 is the most widely used credit scoring system anywhere, and so more than likely, and so if you see a FICO Score 8, thumbs up to them, because they're accurate to your my FICO score and to your Experian.com site scores, which you guys know I typically recommend. Credit one of the kind of more subprime cards that I typically like, because they give generous credit increases, but their Experian monitoring is not even Vantage scores. It's actually 30 points less than the Vantage score. So I have no idea what algorithm that they use, but disregard it. Don't be confused, and don't be disappointed when your scores don't look the same as they do on FICO. Trust your FICO scores, folks. FICO Score 8, that's what you run with. Look, some banks that you might be with or having a loan with, they may use a different version of FICO, but you can always ask them. And then also too, with your My Fico, if you have My Fico, or if you have more so even with your Experian won't give you Equifax and TransUnion, but with your Experian account, if you have an Experian monitoring service, you can check your additional scores. Like I have Royal Credit Union. Crazy enough, they use Fico Score 4. I mean, to approve you and their monitoring. So I found that out by doing research. So you can find out what they use, but don't be confused by these Vantage scores. Go with Fico. Trust in Fico. Fico scores are the king. That's how you're getting approved. If you want a credit line increase and you see your scores are low on some of these sites, don't trust them. Go to My Fico. Although, I cannot say with definitively that American Express is not using your Vantage scores to increase your credit line. I can't say that. I'm hoping they using Fico Scores 8 to increase your scores. But, once again, I can't definitively say that. But my point of this video is this. When all else fails, get your Fico scores. I understand that Fico charges money and it's not free like Credit Karma. By the way, full disclosure, I deleted my Credit Karma account today just because I really don't need it, because it typically, I know they tend to update every week, but if it's not accurate, I have no use for it, right? One thing I can say, and also too, the reason I deleted it because I pay for my Experian account and I also have on my Fico Score account. So look, but I understand people can't afford that. So just because I'm a credit expert, I need to be in the know. But if you have an Experian account, I don't think it's necessary, and you have a monitoring service that you pay for month in and month out. Even if you don't, I would say, look, you don't need to look at your credit scores unless you're making a major purchase. So I would say go to My Fico Score and pull your scores and get accurate Fico scores so you can see all three every quarter or twice a year. But that way you have accurate scores. Now, if you want a monitoring service and monitoring your credit for free, yes, Credit Karma is a good source. You could certainly use them, but disregard those scores. And if you have, Experian an account, or if you have Experian account, or if you have My Fico Score account, then get rid of it. I did. So once again, that's just my 2 cents. But do what you think is best for you. The thing about it is that cut down some of the confusion, because there are a lot of confusion about scores. Just remember, Fico is king. Any doubt about what the bank is using, call them and ask them. When you see where it says Vantage 3.0, disregard those scores. They're not accurate. Some of the only thing I found out is that when people because Vantage 3.0 and their owners say, we've had 1 billion banks use our scores. The only thing that I've seen where banks use Vantage 3.0 scores, because I cannot find a bank that uses Vantage 3.0 exclusively to approve anything. The only thing I've seen is that Vantage 3.0 is used for existing accounts. So after you get an account, a lot of the lenders are using those, like Credit One, like American Express, and many others. Those are just a couple that I know off the top of my head. But once again, look for when I know Discover's on point. One of my favorite cars. They have an excellent, just customer service. They use real Fico scores to monitor. Oh, and I know the other one that's accurate is Fingerhut. A lot of people dog Fingerhut. I love Fingerhut. They give generous limit increases. It's a good card to use. I'm not saying go buy a bunch of stuff with Fingerhut, but use it if you're just starting out. If you have poor credit, you're trying to rebuild, Fingerhut is a great source. It's hard to get turned down from Fingerhut, and they use accurate monitoring service for free with your Experian. So if If you don't want to afford, a monitoring service, and you need to know what your Experian scores are each month, you know what? Get a fingerhut card, accurate scores. So look, this is a short video. Hope this helps some of you guys. Let me know, what's working. Let me know what other kind of videos you like to see from me. But Tony Hill, making sense of credit. I'm trying to make sense of credit for y'all. Check out my channel. Please subscribe. Until next time, y'all. Peace.